Hello everyone. Good morning, good evening, depending where you are. My name is Alessia and I'm a client manager from Consulting Masters. Today I'm going to moderate this webinar, How to Write a Perfect CV and Cover Letter for a Consulting Company, Tips for 2021. So I'm very, very happy to have all of you today, guys, at our webinars. And today we'll provide it with the company 180 degrees together. And I would like to pass the word to Daniel to make a little introduction about them.
Sorry, just before we start, just wanted to introduce 180 Degrees before Daniel gives a bit of an introduction. So I'm Hania, one of the co-presidents of 180 DC SOAS, and my co-president Manvi as well will be joining us later. Daniel is our partnerships director currently, so he organised this Consulting Masters. And yeah, just to say that this is our first event of the academic year, and we're really excited to have our year start off with such a great event, and we really hope that this gives you a lot of great tips and benefit to you in the application process going forward. And do feel free to follow our social media as well for any future event updates.
Okay, now I suppose we are ready to start, right? So, and I guess that the first question that's bothering all of you is, who are we? Who are these people that you come for today? Who are these people who knows about consulting and really know how to write a perfect CV and cover letter? I already introduced myself. As I mentioned before, I'm Alessia Kim, and I'm a client manager at Consulting Masters. Today, I'm going to moderate this webinar. And in case you have any questions, please write them below in the Zoom chat. And at the end of the webinar, we are going to do the Q&A session. And also I would like to announce that in the middle of the webinar, we will also have a quiz time where the winner of the quiz time gonna have a special prize for us. Okay, so please follow us. And of course, I'm aware that you're not here because of me, of course, but because of our coaches. So please welcome Gaurav Bosley, one of our amazing coaches. And he has 12 years in consulting and coaching. And by the way, he moved to Germany without any knowledge of German language and joined McKinsey Germany in Frankfurt. That's amazing, right? I think that we can learn something from him, right? And also I would like to add that he has 5,000 hours of consultations and 500 plus students got job offers at the top consulting firms because of his help and his support as well. So yeah, we are very happy to have Gaurav at our team, and I hope, guys, that you also can find some support and help in him. Okay, yeah, and also I would like to introduce our another coach. Please welcome André Homulenko, also extraordinary person, and he has more than 30 plus successfully completed consulting projects in more than 10 countries. And also I would like to add that he got a job at Rohnberger and got promoted twice within the just 17 months. It's a great result, right? It's like unrepeatable, but I think that he can tell you how to do that, of course. And also I would like to add that he has more than 7 plus years of experience in consulting. He interviewed more than 100 candidates for different positions in Central Europe and Middle East. So please welcome our two amazing coaches, Gaurav Bosley and André Homulenko, and please listen them attentively. So now I would like to pass the word to André, and he can tell you more about our company. So please.
Hello, Alessia. Hello, everyone. Very warm welcome to our webinar, and thank you very much for this very nice introduction and your very kind words. First of all, I want to say thank you to Hania as well as to Daniel from 180 Degrees Consulting for making this possible. And Daniel, I actually also want to pass the word to you. Maybe you have something to say to all the people who have gathered here together.
Yes, first of all, I would like to thank you all for attending this webinar, and also thank you, Consulting Masters, for offering the recommendations on these very important topics. Okay, so just I will not take away the time to you, who are the persons who have really something important to tell us. So please, you can continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daniel. So very happy to do so. And guys, please stay focused today. So in the next 90 minutes, basically 1.5 hours, we will cover even 2 very important topics. So we will give you very practical tips about how to write the CV and how to write the cover letter, basically your application documents, which you need to use in every job when you're applying, whether it is in consulting or not, but we will give you very specific recommendations if you want to decide to go for a consulting work. let's gonna start. And please also use the chat function in order to put your questions, because at the very end of our webinar, we are going to have a Q&A session where we will be also answering all of your questions. So if we're talking briefly about what are going to happen today in this webinar, first, there will be the introduction about the company, and there will be the content part about, well, we will also play a quiz. I think our team has prepared some interesting questions for you, and we have also prepared a special prize for the winner. So participation really makes sense. Then in the next part, we will also tell you a little bit more about the success or cases of our clients. And we can then go directly into the tips about how to write your CV, how to write your cover letter. Afterwards, we will also show you all the way around. And at the end of the day, we have prepared a couple of bonus materials for you. So stay tuned until the very end. So what are basically the key motivating factors? Why do you want to join consulting firm? For me personally, when I was in your age, I was very much excited about consulting due to probably the following three reasons. First of all, I was very much excited about the opportunity to work in diverse industries, especially on the projects which really matter. Imagine that you could work with the CEOs, or you could work with ministers. You could do the work which really matters. You can create impact. That's all it was really huge motivation for me when I was in my 20s after the university. Secondly, I also wanted to become a part of an environment, a part of a developing environment, to work with really bright-minded people from whom I would be able to learn constantly and gain the expertise. And also, I valued a lot the opportunity from the firm to invest in myself, because I was completely amazed that I would be having a chance to complete an MBA with a scholarship from one of the consulting firm. And last but not least, I actually also wanted to travel a lot. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to see different industries, different functions, different geographies within the job. And that's what consulting actually helped me to do so. If we're talking about our company, Consulting Masters, we are a coaching company. So we help you as potential candidates, students, MBAs, and professionals to land the job offers at all those leading consulting firms. And until that very moment, 538 clients of us have just received the job offers in all the major consulting firms like McKinsey, BCG, Bain, Roland Berger, Strategy, and Kearney, Oliver Wyman, Big Four companies, and boutique companies. And you know what? What really makes me so exciting is the fact that just today, two of our mentees have received their job offers with Bain and Accenture. It's just a couple of hours ago, so I'm extremely happy. And I mean, it's just amazing. They literally made my day today. And we have truly global scope, from Alaska or up to Australia, from Spain up to Japan. So all the countries. We are also very strong in the Middle East. So whether you are residing in Europe, in North America, in Asia, in Middle East, or in other parts of the world, probably the only territory which we haven't covered so far is just Antarctic. But who knows? Maybe one day we will be also operating there. So let's see. Let's move on to the next part. So I just want to provide you a couple of examples of who our clients are, so that you can get a better idea. Look at this face. I met Edward end of August, and Edward had literally zero background in business. And he was invited to a couple of interviews. So he studied politics and international relationships in the UK, and he got a chance to interview with Roland Berger. But the thing is that he quickly realized that he's completely unprepared. And we had like only 9 days left till his interview. And it was so much challenging for him, because we needed to start working from the scratch. So I needed to help him with all the business knowledge. I needed to explain him the entire mechanics of consulting interviews, because they are just so comprehensive. And there was so much hard work. I mean, we put tremendous amount of hours and efforts. We squeezed everything within 9 days. But you know what? All the hard work completely paid off, because then at the beginning of September, he went like really amazed because he received an offer from Roland Berger Dubai for his internship, and he's going to start his internship in November this year, and this will give him really unprecedented opportunities. So this is just one example, like from someone who literally had no background and no skills for a consultant, how much we were able to put within just a very short time frame to make it happen for him. And another great example is Fernando. If you will follow us on our social media networks, you can find a post about him. He came to us as an MBA candidate from ISC Business School, and he already had some industry experience, but he literally had no consulting experience, and he really wanted to upgrade his career after pursuing an MBA and to get an offer from one of the leading consulting firms. And we've helped him throughout all the phases of the application and interview preparation process, starting from CV and cover letter, what we are doing today, through the networking and referrals. Will help him to get his interview invites, because nowadays due to COVID it's a little bit challenging. We also prepared him for all the parts of the interview process: behavioral part, personal fit part, case solving part. And you know what? Then he received an unprecedented opportunity to interview with McKinsey. And he last month has passed all the interview rounds, and he received an offer from McKinsey Panama. And actually only 1% of all the applicants make it to McKinsey. So imagine, just out of 10,000 or out of 1,000 of applications which McKinsey receives every month, they select only 8 to 10 people. And he is among this cohort. So he's the lucky one who is going to join McKinsey Panama just in November this year. So these are the two examples of those people who we were able to help. And on the next page, I also want just to highlight to you some of the statistics that over the last few weeks and months, 10 of our mentees received 19 job offers all over the world, with the salary ranges between 53K in US dollars up to 218. And they are now joining McKinsey, Bain, Roland Berger, Strategy, and other leading firms. And yeah, I'm really so passionate about it, because the success of my mentees is extremely rewarding. This is why I'm doing this, the whole thing. And my question to you is actually, can you also identify yourself? Are you pursuing a career in consulting? Are you interested into joining one of the leading consulting firms? Can you please write down this into the chat so that I can also see how many of you are actually interested in consulting? Yes, Hania? Okay. Hania, by the way, you're sending the messages just directly to me. Can you also share this with all others? Yeah, I'm considering. Paula? Okay. Anyone else considering? Or who actually wants to try it? And do you also have a preference, like a firm where you would like to start working after your studies? Like, if we're talking about consulting, so which company would you like to work at? And where do you see yourself in 1 or 2 years from now? I'm interested. Karin, Ira is also interested. Celine, Derek, okay. Daniel, yeah. Isabella, okay. All right, sounds good. So let's move on. And this is a very fulfilling and a very rewarding thing. Okay, development consultancy. Daniel, Jade, international development. Yeah, sounds good. Cool. So stay with us until the very end, and you will receive several bonuses. So let's kind of skip this one and move on directly. So probably you still be thinking like, can I really make it? Where is the guarantee that this is something that I could do? Or is it expensive to work with a coach? Is it really worth it? Does it pay off? Or how much time do I need to prepare very well? Look, guys, I asked one of my mentees, and he actually recorded a very quick video for you. So if you have any doubts, just watch attentively to what he's saying, because he's actually one of those 10 candidates who received an offer and who most recently started working in one of the leading consulting firms. So greetings from Ahmed. Yeah, this is for me personally a very inspiring moment. Guys, do you feel, does it actually really inspire you? Does it give you the courage to try it out and to move beyond? Actually, just write it also into the chat whether this gives you also the courage, and whether you want to become like Ahmed, who started working with us just in the middle of the pandemic, where all the recruiting processes were frozen. And he had so many doubts whether he is a good candidate, even after completing his master thesis at Imperial College of London. He had so many doubts because he was not receiving any interview calls. And it was extremely rewarding for me to see how he was able, under our guidance, to unleash his full potential. So if you guys are also interested in joining consulting, then just promise me right now one thing, that you will take the first step towards your dream job today and do just a very small exercise prepared for you by our team. Can we do a deal here? Okay, Alessa, I pass the word to you.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for your nice introduction of our company. I'm so proud of it. And now, guys, as I mentioned before at the beginning of our webinar, I would like to do a quiz time with you. So please now follow the link that my colleague will leave at the Zoom chat, and let's play. So I would like to announce that the winner of a quiz time receive a special prize. The special prize is a 90 minutes consultation with our senior expert. So let's do that and win. Good luck to everyone.
Does everyone register who wanted to play and win the prize?
Yeah, there are a lot of funny things here. I hope that everyone already joined us. Let's wait for another 10 seconds. So it will be just 5 questions. Some of them simple, some of them are not. So please be aware that the time and the right answer, all of them important for the winner. Okay. Yeah, answer fast to get the right answer. So the first question is, a CV is better structured by... Time's up. Let's see the answers. Yeah, there are, yes. So 5 of you got the right answers. Let's see with this.
Daniel, you're right.
Let's see who is the winner there. Yeah, it was...
Maria, this was faster.
Yeah, congratulations, but not be so happy because it's not the last one. So let's move further. The second one. Time's up. And the right question was, yeah, why you decided to become a consultant. Yeah, that's great. Let's see the results. And yeah. The winner is Ira, but the total score goes to Maria. Congratulations. Let's move further. Question 3 of 5. Time's up. And yes, 11 of you. Yeah, everyone got the right answer. Congratulations. Yes. So after 3 questions, we got yes. We have 2 like most winners, but not winners. Isabella and Maria. Congratulations. Let's see the next question. Time's up. And the right answer is 1 printable page. Yes. Most of you got the right answers. Yes, I think it's hot now today, right? It's already hot. Yeah, Maria and Isabella. So there is a last round, and there will be a fight, I think. So let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, the winner is Isabella. Congratulations to you. Yeah, congratulations to Isabella. And we will contact you after the webinar and give you a consultation with a senior expert, okay? So it was, I hope that it was fun for you as for us, okay? So let's proceed our webinar. And I would like to pass a word to our coach, Gaurav Sposley. How are you doing today, Gaurav?
Great. How are you guys doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. I think you are already warmed up, about the session. You know a little bit about consulting, a little bit about our company. Now let's get into the heart of the topic, how to write the CV and cover letter. I think a lot of you might already know, but just to cover the basics, where does the CV and cover letter or the application document stand in the overall process? So here is a very simple process chart, right? So You start off basically with the CV and cover letter. These are your basic application documents. And once that CV and cover letter has been vetted, has been evaluated, yeah, a lot of people get filtered out, and those who get selected, typically these days, taken to the test. Most of the big consulting companies, be it McKinsey, BCG, Bain, and a lot of others, are also going for either psychometric or business knowledge related tests. Yeah. So this is another filtering round that goes through. Post that, you have a 30-minute pre-screening call in some of the consulting companies. Yeah. If not, directly you get into consulting interview rounds. Typically, you will see 2 to 3 rounds, and every round will have 2 to 3 interviews. Okay. And of course, if you go through all these hurdles, then you receive an offer. Yeah. And we are happy to tell you that all these 500 people, or more than 500 in fact, 538, and we should add 2 that we added today. The 540 people, all of them have gone through all those hurdles, and we have been with them throughout this. Now, why CV and cover letter is so important? I think a lot of you must be thinking in the era which is so digital and AI and full technology era, why still this documentation is important? So guys, understand that this documentation talks a lot about your way of communication. In consulting, the 3 biggest pillars on which you are always evaluated: your analytical bent of mind, second, structured problem solving, and third is your executive communication or top-down communication. So all these things, are tested not only in the interviews, but also right from starting of your document. One. Second, a big recruitment factor in consulting. I think, consulting is a career which is quite a high profile career. As Andre was talking about, McKinsey normally receives like 1,000 applications, and out of that 7-8, at best 7-8 are selected. So the filtering curation is extremely high quality. And one of the parameters that we consider the applicant to be a good applicant for consulting process is basically ability to set and achieve challenging goals. And how do we know that you are someone who is going to do that? So all your achievements, be it academic, be it professionals, are then documented on the CV. And those are the achievements which are evaluated on basis that the interviewer decides or the recruiter decides whether you are good enough to be taken to the interview or not. Similarly, in the cover letter, your cover letter is nothing but your story. We would like to know why you want to get into consulting, because as a lot of you would have already heard that in most of the big consulting companies, it's up or out policy. Up or out means if you don't perform well, then you get fired. Yeah. And a lot of people, even after joining consulting companies, drop out because they are not able to fit in. And that's the reason fitment of the profile is a very big thing in any consulting company, because they also spend so much money in recruitment, then training you, grooming you, and after that, if you don't fit, it's a pity. So where do they evaluate the fit? At least at a primary basis is in the cover letter, where they want to understand what's your story, where are you coming from, why you want to work with us, why should we hire you? All these things they want to evaluate out of your cover letter. So that's the reason, guys, even in this era, now even in 2021, CV and cover letter still remain extremely relevant, not just relevant, extremely important. And I think, unfortunately, we don't have that slide where the amount of filtration is shown, but the maximum amount of filtration, the maximum number of candidates filter out at this stage. So approximately, if I can tell you that out of 1,000 people that apply, 100 will get into the test phase. 900 will get filtered out. Those are the number of people who get filtered out. This is their CV and cover letter. Of course, part of it is the content of the CV cover letter, and a part of it is how it is written. Of course, all of this we are going to discuss today. Are you with me? Can you? Just feel free. If you have any queries, feel free to type it out. Yeah, and Alicia, if there is a query which is very specific to that topic, please raise it so that I can answer that then and there. Yeah, of course. I think I'll cover this slide as well very quickly. So what is it that, no, go back. I'll just quickly cover this slide. I was talking off slide. I was just trying to give you a little bit kind of a broader coverage in terms of why CV and cover letter is important. So what is it that top consulting companies are looking for? They are big brand names, academic performance, high standard scores, not just in math, but anything which is more analytical subject, evidence of leadership and people's skills, and high achieving career experiences. All these things basically pointing to the point that I told you earlier. Ability to set and achieve challenging goals. GPA for a candidate who is applying for a business analyst role who has zero experience is a proxy for a company to understand that, whether he is a high profile candidate or not. I know you might argue that, academic score doesn't determine the professional success, but guys, this for an extreme fresher, GPA still remains one of the criteria to be evaluated on. Okay, of course. Then we are talking about some co-curricular activities. If you have been a leader in some of the clubs, be it entrepreneurship club, you have kind of conducted some projects in the college. All these things also add up to your leadership and people skills. But academic performance, good test score always give you a pretty kind of a high weightage over here. Of course, also the big brand names of employers and schools will give you easy access to the first rounds of the interviews. So now we can go forward. We are directly, in fact, getting into the discussion of the CV. What you are seeing is nothing but a one-pager consulting CV. Now, obviously, if you can also have the comments, I'll go through all the comments. And depending on, I don't know how many of you are experienced candidates, how many of you are freshers, but some of you who are experienced candidates might feel that I have worked so much and how can I fit in everything that I've done on one pager. But guys, don't forget, even CEOs with 30 years of experience write their executive CV on one pager. So writing a CV on one pager is something that is very, very important. In consulting, this is the format that we typically use. In fact, if you want to take a screenshot, you can take a screenshot of this, because this is a highly successful CV template for consulting, irrespective of the geography, irrespective of the consulting company. Because I've standardized it to kind of match to requirements of most of the consulting companies and most of the geographies. So there's no geography cut to it. So I'll just take you through all the points here. It has to be a one-page resume. There's no doubt about it. And very simple font. Don't use anything jazzy. Consultants don't like all the those comic fonts. Use typical Arial or Times. That's good. Play with the margins, but play within a reasonable range. Just because you don't have anything to write, don't make it like too narrow. So keep it either normal, or you can have broad as margins, but nothing beyond that. Also, don't make it too crowded. I mean, don't make it like really to the edge, because the CV also needs to breathe. Too much content on the CV is not a good idea. Keep the font size. Typically, if it is Arial, Times, or Calibri, keep it around 10 to 11. Don't make it too small. Don't make it too large. And when it comes to, that's just a simple formatting we are talking about. When it comes to writing a sentence or your achievement, a few things we should be taking into consideration. That, as we said, we are talking about, or we are trying to advertise or market ourselves, brand ourselves, as an achiever. And as a result, everything that you would write should be an achievement-driven language. So if you see this, for example, this guy's CV, the first line talks about build product strategy for a web platform, establish a market entry strategy for something. So everything should start with an action verb. So this is what I did then for this particular company, which resulted in this particular business objective. So that's the format into it. Don't use job description format. A lot of people write in a job description format. So something like they would say managing 70 people on this kind of a project. So they will talk about their responsibility. We don't want responsibility language. We want achievement language. We don't care if you have 15 different responsibilities. Tell us in those 2-3 years on the job, what were the highlights? What were the few things that you feel were your achievements? And then write the achievement in this particular format of what I did in what particular context and what was the business result. If you see most of the lines in the CV in consulting format, you will see numbers, and you would have heard this probably hundreds of times. Consultants love numbers. They always quantify your achievements. So rather than saying, build product strategy for something, for a few clients, he's saying 10 plus clients. Establish a market entry strategy to acquire a huge market, rather than saying that he's saying the market of 500 million. So wherever possible, you need to quantify your achievement. Write every sentence like this. So action verb, give a little bit of background, but ensure that the entire sentence, somewhere, it has to be a result or impact. I mean, in McKinsey, we call it so what. What's the so what of your work? You build the product strategy. So what? You establish the market entry strategy. So what? The so what is that we could acquire the market of 500 million. That's so what has to come in every line. That's why I always say CV and biodata are very different. Biodata is almost a legal document. You have to write everything that you have done. No, CV is not that. Not that. CV is a document which is your marketing brochure. Pick up those things out of your education, your extracurricular, your professional experience, which are worth marketing. This is your brochure. So if there are only 3 projects that you want to talk about within the experience of 4 years, okay, talk about those 3. Use selective communication. Are you getting me, or am I speaking Greek?
I don't know the Greek language, but I'm getting you.
Yeah, I'm just so funny. I was working in Greece, in fact, on McKinsey project, and I used this terminology. Am I talking Greek? And people were really angry at me. So yeah, I need to be context sensitive. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is, if there is anything at this stage that you feel you are not getting, please let me know. If I go literally now from left side to right side, what we're talking about is starting with action work. The bullet points demonstrate the personal impact of the candidate. Of course, we spoke about it. Okay, now what is this next point? If you have already applied to consulting companies or previously, you would know. I think most of the consulting companies, the 4 areas on which they would try to evaluate your fitment is these areas: problem solving, leadership, entrepreneurial drive, and personal impact. It's not a bad idea. Once go through your CV when you have written it to see, am I demonstrating some flavor of each one of them? Because of course, if you demonstrate those flavors in the CV, yeah, you will make your CV even more sellable. Yeah, as simple as that. Some of the very logistical things are the sections. Okay, so personal information, education, work experience, extracurricular, additional skills and interests. There is a couple of tips on my side. Try and talk about something which is more sellable, yeah, on top of the CV. If you are working with an unknown company, but you are a Harvard MBA, then put education section above. Though you got the Harvard MBA 2 years back, yeah, because Harvard is a selling point. But let's say, I don't know, if you have worked with, kind of a famous company, let's say Unilever, or if you have been a corporate strategy guy, let's say at Lafarge or Schneider, which shows that you are a very good fit within consulting, and you have done MBA from, let's say, not so well-known college, then of course you put professional experience. If you have nothing to choose, then of course put something which is latest, which is on the top. So if you are coming out of MBA and you are an MBA fresher, of course, the MBA is the latest thing that you did, so it will come up. But if you are a professional, then the professional will come up. If you have no criteria to choose from, but if you have a brand to flaunt, then ensure that it's like any other brochure. Yeah, you have in thousands of brochures in your life. Yeah, what is it that gets attracted? The top side, right? It's easily kind of gets into your eyes. So top of the CV, and there are a lot of statistics that also suggest that very few CV reviewers and recruiters even go to till the last part of the CV. Yeah, we put our heart out to write a CV, but it's a fact of life that not everyone goes to the end of the CV. People very quickly browse through it. So better achievements, sellable achievements should be on the top. In the same light, I would also tell you that do not put more than 5 bullet points under one experience. Again, psychologically, it's been proven that beyond 4 or 5 bullet points, people get fatigued. People don't absorb the points. So if you now, what do you do if you have worked with one company for 12 years and there are 20 bullet points? Yeah, then you divide those. Yeah, either by the roles that have changed over the time, which also shows your career progression, or skill based, depending on your profile. We can discuss that at case by case basis. But writing those 20 points one by one is a short way of getting the CV rejection. Everything that you have written on the CV, they will try and probe. Yeah, so write something which on probing should give you advantage and not disadvantage. It should put you in a positive light. In fact, another statement that I probably overuse is that CV is a very expensive real estate, probably the most expensive real estate in the world. On one page, you need to probably write and market your entire profile. So use this space very, very judiciously. From CV, I think we are going on cover letter. Any specific question that has come on CV?
Yeah, basically there have been a couple of questions, especially the audience like Derek or Paula or Daniel are very much interested because they want to get an advice for student style CV, especially if they don't have those 10 years of experience and they have been only allowed to work for just few months or few years so far. And the problem is also how to get the very first work experience. Do you have maybe any recommendations to share in your experience?
So the CV format doesn't change much, even if you don't have too much experience. You can always start off with academics, and then you add your internships or your academic projects. Yeah, because most of the curriculums have some kind of academic projects, which are something that you can present it as separately, as just like the professional experience, but academic projects. Or if you have done some non-academic projects, also write non-academic projects. And within that, you can write, for example, whatever, designed, drone software for, food delivery company or something like that. Yeah. So whatever you have done as a student on those projects, you can probably also mention in the CV. Yeah. Now, how to get the first experience or even internships? I don't know. I think it all depends on where you're coming from and what kind of university or education you have. But some of the things that helped me, at least, I can tell you that after there are a lot of websites these days, we didn't have those freelancer.com and elancer.com and intern.com and all those stuff, yeah, wherein you can directly get internships. But I'm probably a little bit old school, but I was doing MBA and I needed an internship because I had zero strategy experience on my CV. My CV was all technology CV, coming from a technology background. So what I did was basically I approached all my professors in strategy and I asked them, is there anything that you are doing in terms of the project, in terms of, because a lot of these professors also do, expert consulting to a lot of different companies. So I asked them whether they have anything for me where I can help them. I don't need any money per day and all that stuff. I just want experience. So I followed up with them for a couple of months, and though I did not get something from them, but because of their referral, I got an internship. So I utilized these professors as industry connects. Yeah, because I did my MBA in my country. My MBA I did in HEC in Paris, where I didn't know anybody. I utilized my professors. Yeah, but of course, if you are in your home country, you feel free to utilize your personal network as well to land up in internships. And these days, the demand for internship and openness for interns is very high. Be it Amazon or Microsoft, or for that matter, also in consulting companies. The number of interns and openness towards hiring interns is very high. So I don't see any issue. If you are completely motivated and if you rigorously do follow-ups, I don't see why you shouldn't get internships, because the value proposition is very simple. You want to learn. You're not there for money. You should be able to get an internship.
All right. Let's move on to the next topic.
Good. And this probably some of the questions we can take at the end. So now cover letter. Now guys, what is a cover letter? Huh? Most of the guys are young here, without any experience. We have a lot of experienced guys as well. What's the configuration of the group?
I think we just have to do with students. So therefore, they are eager to get any help.
Great. No, I just wanted to choose an example. Yeah. So I always relate cover letter to love letter. And I feel it's very similar to a love letter where the format is, I love you, you will love me, let's get married. That's the format, in a nutshell of a cover letter. So what does that mean? You have already spoken about what great things you have done in your CV. Yeah. So what is different in cover letter? In cover letter, basically you are trying to tell them that I love you means, I like or I want to be in consulting, and specifically you. Yeah, why me? Why consulting? Why from X? Yeah, that second arrow you can see. Then you need to tell them that, so you will love me means nothing but, why should you have me or why should you hire me? Towards the end, let's get married means, to show the eagerness that I'm confident that I'll be able to add value from day one. And, let's get connected. I'm eager to share my value proposition in detail with you. That's overall is a language. Yeah, I know it's you guys are still smiling about the analogy, but this is what it is. It needs to be very clearly communicated. Yeah, I'll not get into the logistical thing. Font and all these things remain the same. The format, if you want to take a screenshot, again, you feel free to take it. This is again a very successful CV format. Now look at the first part of it. Yeah? So first part, it starts with your introduction, and again. Now, the introduction followed up by very quickly telling them what are you applying for. So your introduction and intent both are already covered in the first paragraph. Then the paragraph number 2 and 3, those with blue lines, depending on the content, you need to write why consulting and why this particular firm. And it should be, if it even if it's the other way around, that's fine. That this is the reason why I want to be in consulting, and particularly with your firm because this, or it can be the other way around. But a very specific points that talk about why do you want to be in consulting? Yeah, be it talk about the breadth of experience that you want. You talk about the best of the talent that you want to work with. Don't talk about you want to see the world. Yeah, that's just that's a perk. You don't talk about, this is not a travel agency that you're applying for. Okay, don't talk about that, but you can always talk about how getting a lot of different types of opportunities in different sectors, functions, and geographies will help your career. How working with the best of the minds will help you. How the most impactful project is something that will help. Anything, all these typical why consulting things you can include. Then I'm hoping that through be it consulting masters or be through your own efforts, you will talk to a few consultants, in that company. And as a result, you will be able to get something specific about that office and that consulting company that is very special. And talk about that over here. That I would like to be in the Dubai office of Bain, because, and whatever. Again, take an example, analogy of love letter. You don't want to have a generic love letter. You want to talk about that particular person. So like that. Now, going to the second part, which is why you would love me or why you should be hiring me. A lot of people copy paste some of the projects description from their CV. Guys, that is not the way to do it. I know these are your highlighted achievements, but in cover letter, don't write them in the achievement format. In the cover letter, you take a different view over here. You take a competency view. Now you have done 2-3 good things, good projects. Out of that, what is coming out of that is, if now, for example, this guy talks about analytical problem solving, teamwork and leadership. What has he done? He has taken a functional cut of his CV. Whatever 10-15 projects he has done, he has culled out what is coming across as the functional expertise, and those things he has written. Getting the point? Take a competency view in cover letter. And within that, if you want to give a reference to a couple of projects, okay. But don't copy paste that I designed this, and I got market opportunity worth 600 million. Don't copy paste it like this. This is not a project description space. Here, it's a competency view. And of course, then and again, how many competencies? I typically believe in 3, not more than 3. Try to stick to 3 competencies, and that should be enough. Every competency, maximum 2 proofs or 2 references you can give that, okay, I'm saying that I'm good in analytical problem solving because just 2 examples. In fact, the first analytical problem solving as a paragraph, I feel it's tad longer. You can make it even more crisper. In crisp 2 examples, you are proving that yes, I have developed analytical problem solving skills. Like that, you would basically justify why you should hire me. And then end it with, I'm confident that my skills will be able to add value, right? And I look forward to elaborate this in detail, my value proposition, and let's meet up. That's the way to talk about it.
So ladies and gentlemen, basically over the last hour, you have learned so many important things. You have seen what is the typical structure of the best consulting CV and how you need to build a cover letter, how the perfect CV and the cover letter for consulting should look like. You have also seen the most common mistakes and how you can avoid them. And what are the best ways how you can show that you are really an appropriate candidate? Because the key question is whether you can make it to an interview stage or whether you will be filtered out, and whether you are this 90% who are filtered out and receive an automatic rejection, or whether you are among those 10% who actually receives an interview invite and have a chance to showcase your skills. So if you have already learned all of this, then you probably are interested to figure out even more about this, right? Have you guys also seen the film Matrix? Basically, I have 2 pills for you. In the red pill, you can basically prepare by yourself. You can search for more information. There are tons of information available in the internet. You can try different application approaches, fail, learn, try again, and maybe later on get your job. Or on the blue pill, if you take our help, you can basically leverage all the experience straight away. Become our member 539 or 540 who will go in to receive the job offer, because through the access to our networking, you can become a part of our community, and we are going to help you to secure your interview invites and actually convert them into job offers in consulting. So would you like to figure out more? Then on the next page, basically, I also want to showcase you just a couple of examples of the statistics. If some of you are still studying on the undergraduate position, then in Europe, for example, you can count on with roughly 60K or 60,000 euros of salary if you start working with one of the leading consulting firms. For MBA candidates, this already goes into 6-digit salary. And for experienced hires, it's even more attractive because we used to have cases who received more than 218,000 US dollars of annual salary. And basically, our mentees from our VIP alumni program received their promotions also faster than the others. So because the typical promotion cycle is about 24 months, this is when you, for example, get promoted from junior consultant to consultant, but they were able to do that in 12 months. So just in the half of the time. And it all gives you the help that you are just becoming way more successful, and you have the security of receiving the actual job offer right after your studies. Just to give you my example, I received my first job in consulting 11 months before my graduation date. So if you are now graduating next year, would you like to get a job offer already now? Is that something which you would be looking for? And we are exactly here to help you and to share this knowledge with you. Maybe just to give you a very brief overview of what one of our programs contains. It contains the comprehensive support through the application roadmap. Today, we've covered the CV and cover letter part, so we will go in to help you to develop your specific perfect application documents. Then through our networking, through applying our networking strategy, you will be able to secure several interview invites. And then we are helping you and accompanying you in all the stages of the interview preparation part. And we support you with our personal mentorship to the very moment that you finally receive that job offer. Just imagine, how would you feel yourself the day, like 2 mentees today, how would you feel yourself that day in future when you finally receive an email from the HR saying something like, "Dear Daniel," or "Dear Anna," or "Dear Unis," or "Dear Isabella, it was a great pleasure meeting you last Friday. My congratulations, we decided to give you an offer. Could you please share your postal address and your passport details and confirm the entry date? Looking towards to hearing from you back soon. Maria, best regards on the behalf of the entire HR team." How would you feel yourself that day when your dream and your dream job can actually comes true, and what kind of confidence it will give you for all the future? Because that's exactly what Consulting Masters, what our entire team, what we are doing for our clients. And therefore, I would just want to invite you to follow us on that journey and to go together to your objectives. Yeah, and we have everything what you might be looking for. So we have good mentors with Gaurav and myself. We have all the resources, content, all the fundamentals for the preparation to the consulting interviews. And what is extremely valuable is that you will become a part of community. So you will even start building up your own network just before joining the consulting industry, and you would be able to learn together and to benefit from the know-how of other people. So just imagine you will get an access to the database with all past consulting interviews which have been done by our previous candidates. So for example, if tomorrow you have an interview with McKinsey, you can already have a look who out of our candidates has already interviewed with McKinsey. What were the questions were asked by that firm? What were the cases which were presented over there? Do you think, would it be helpful for you in your preparation? For sure it will be. Yeah, and what you will actually get. So the program lasts, depending on your specific needs, it might last between 3 to 4 months, maximum of 6 months. But the majority of our clients actually receive their results, their first offers, already within the first 6 weeks or sometimes up to 4 months. You will get an access to the massive database of a library of questions and cases from real interviews. You will also get the personal mentorship with up to 10 consultations from my side, up to 15 consultations consultations from Gaurav's side to help you to secure your interview invites and to make you confident at all the stages of the interview. You will also get unlimited access to the group sessions, which we are regularly hosting. You will be part of a VIP community where our network will become your next family. And it's absolutely risk-free because we guide you till the moment that you actually receive an offer in one of our programs, which we call VIP Result. So this is just to give you one of the examples. Yeah, and for instance, in case you still hesitate, you also need to consider that, as mentioned by Ahmed, he still had doubts at the very beginning whether this investment is worth it, is paying off. As you have seen the salaries in consulting with more than 60,000 euros on the annual basis. Also, one of the guys who received the offer, or actually both guys who received the offers today, their annual pay is about, I think, 70 or even higher, more than 70,000 euros or British pounds. And they have, they're also on the fast track to promotion. So you will get paid it back within your, maybe on average 3.5 weeks. Like with your very first salary, you would be able to fully cover fees. And if you fast track your career within the next 5 years, you would be able to more than double your salary. Like I personally increased my salary from 60,000 euros to 150,000 just within 6 years. So it's like 250% salary increase, which is really immense. And this is kind of a service which we want to provide to you to help you out, to create this impact in your life and in the life of those people who are really so much important for you. If you're ready to decide, be quick, because the recruiting season has already begun and it lasts actually until end of November. So the time is limited. And if you want to get into a top consulting firm, you need to act right now and to bring yourself into the shape. The very good news, which are playing in your favor, is that nowadays, after the pandemic and the whole coronavirus is finally over, now it's probably the very best time to apply since 2019, since the whole stuff about COVID-19 has begun, and because now all the recruiting companies are hiring massively. And the only thing is that we can only take no more than 10 best candidates and best motivated people for October to provide this service. So the number of seats is also limited. And if you really want to become that 1% of all the cohort who actually makes it to McKinsey, BCG, Bain, Roland Berger, and other leading consulting firms, then be quick and act right now and take your very first step, your career towards receiving an offer, and book the consultation with our client manager, Alessa Kim. Now you can see that link again in your chat. So Alessa is also very happy to help you and to assist you on your journey. And it's absolutely free of charge, the consultation with her before the strategy call. Alessa, do we have some more bonuses to share with others? Or
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the bonuses. I mean, I couldn't have left you without the bonuses. I promised to you, and I always try to stick to my promises. So to everyone who attended that webinar, you will receive a free consultation with our client manager. Simply follow the link which you are now seeing into the chat and book a free spot with Alessa Kim through the calendly.com/Alessa Kim, the link which you see now in the chat. You will also get a checklist from us for the perfect CV and cover letter for your email addresses when you register to the webinars. And there will be also the checklist for your paid interview preparation part. So all of this you will be receiving per email. And also those of you who want to see that, you can also get the recording of that webinar for your personal use. But if you really have your specific situation, if you want to get the feedback, if you want to get a clarity on what should be the next right move for you, how to analyze your situation, just don't hesitate and book the first consultation call with Alessa today by clicking through the button, and we would be very pleased to assist you with that front. So yeah, I think Alessa is happy to help you. Alessa, and I pass the word to you.
Yeah, thank you, Andrea. Guys, I hope that you really enjoyed our webinar today, and I hope that you already follow my link that my colleague left to our Zoom chat. chat and already book a call with me. So it's just very simple. You just need to put your last and your first name, also put your WhatsApp number and an email, and this is it. The call will last just from 10 to 20 minutes maximum, and we will discuss everything that bother you, that you're interested in. So please welcome. And now, as we discussed before, now it's Q&A sessions. Please, if you have still some questions about what we discussed, please just write down in the Zoom chat, and we still have some time to discuss it.
Yeah, cool. Alessa, do we have any questions into the chat which are still left?
I think there's one question by Daniel which talks about, do you work with non-profits? So are you talking about non-profit consulting companies? What do you mean by that question?
Daniel, maybe you can turn on your microphone and put the question.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you very much for this really interesting 1 hour and a half. I think you gave us so many interesting tips, and I think they can be very helpful for anyone who has attended. So thank you very much for that, and thank you for your presentation of the company and all your different possibilities that you offer to potential clients. Yes, my question had to do with, I had two questions, okay? Do you work specially with companies, or you also work with non-profits? I mean, have you any experience in doing this work or trying to engage clients with non-profit companies? This is the first question.
Well, thank you very much, Daniel, first of all, for this opportunity to present and to host this webinar for the members of your team and of your community. And I hope that this webinar was very useful for everyone attending and have helped you to get a better clarity in terms of how to write your CVs and cover letters to maximize your chances of receiving an interview invite in the consulting firms. Now, if we are talking about whether we are working with non-profits, our company primarily focuses on the leading consulting firms. So we help students, MBAs, and professionals to get into the most prestigious consulting firms worldwide. Usually they work for profit. These companies like McKinsey, BCG, Bain, Roland Berger, Strategy and Kearney, Oliver Wyman, or Big Four companies like PwC, EY-Parthenon, Deloitte, EY, or Accenture, or other boutique firms, they do operate 90% for profit, and they have some non-for-profit social engagement responsibility activities. So from that standpoint of view, we collaborate, or we focus mostly on those jobs and those companies where it's so difficult to get inside, I would say.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Daniel, you also mentioned that you have a couple of more questions. So
there was another one, but I think you already answered it during the presentation. The difference between junior and senior, I mean, the paths are different. So I think you let it clear which is the cover letter and the curriculum for a senior and a junior. Okay, so you already answered my question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Alessa, do you have any further questions?
Oh, yeah, we have one. So from Jade, for international development consultancies, is it necessary to work on math if I don't have a scientific background?
I would generally say that math is a pretty essential skill, or quantitative and logical skills needs to be developed by every candidate. So even Edward, who also had like a background in political science, you need to pass sometimes the tests which contain math questions or logical questions. You need to be really good in numbers, because you would need to be able to quantify market potentials, do qualitative but also quantitative analysis. So yeah, I would say that math skills are definitely very important to be trained. It doesn't mean that you need to exaggerate on this, but you need to have a pretty adequate math skills and being able to quantify, to do very simple calculations like addition, subtractions, divisions, multiplications, working with percentages and some typical, very most common formulas on the piece of paper without using a calculator. So therefore, Jade, yes, just work on your math skills, and we will be happy to help you to develop your math and logical skills as well. And if you guys actually want if you are interested in consulting career, then just don't hesitate and book your first meeting with Alessa. She doesn't bite. So she's a very nice person, and we would be very happy to help you on your way to consulting and make the mentee number 540, 50, etc. To get into the leading consulting firms worldwide. Thank you so much from my side, and thanks also from the team.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
I think maybe Hania, you can end as a co-president of 180 Degrees Consultancy, just to finish. This interesting
not much to say. Just thank you to Consulting Masters for running the webinar today. It was really interesting, and I hope the tips helped everyone that is attending. And just again, look out for any of our future events as well. And we'll be doing a lot of similar workshops and things like that. But also have a look at what Consulting Masters offers and take advantage of everything they've offered you today. But thank you again for everyone that attended.
All the very best, and see you in our next meetings. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.